everybody. Welcome back to Wild Raven Tarot. My name is Bobby. I am your host. Today we are doing an episode of Behind the Cards. I am joined by Rachel White. How you doing, Rachel?
I'm so happy to be here. What a nice change of pace from the rest of my day. And I have to say, I gave you a shout out today on Substack because I used to be really allergic, like pathologically allergic to tarot tube, as I've learned it's called. Cassia of Tarot Map gave me
Yeah.
that terminology. And now I've found three of you that I really like. It's you, Moonflower Moments, and Tarot Map, Cassia. And I actually learn from all of you. And you're
Really?
deep in, yeah, and I think it's because you're deep into metaphysics, where it's not just sort of fortune telling, it's a little bit more spiritual and substantive. So thank you. And I
Well,
love 420. What do you call
God,
that?
yes. 420 Tarot.
Thank you. Everyone should
Uh,
do that. It's amazing. Please join it. If you're watching this video, join it. They do bong
we have
rips.
so much fun on 420 Tarot.
And it's legal
Rachel,
here in Austin, Texas.
and it's legal here in Arizona.
There you go.
Rachel is the creator of the Totem Tarot and the Totem Essence Flower, or the Totem Flower Essence Deck. I always get
Yeah.
that backwards.
And by the way, I had to put them away really quickly because I did a spread for myself earlier, tarot people stuff, and I forgot it
Yeah.
was yours. Like, oh shit, I have like a meeting. Yeah.
This is actually how we became acquainted, was the Totem
Yeah.
Tarot. You saw my unboxing that I
One
did
of my
on your
clients
deck.
let me know. They found it and I was like, this guy gets it. I know that sounds weird, but it's been, it's self-published. I'm a bit of a purist about it. And it was like you were saying everything I wanted people to get from it. And it
Thank
was
you.
deeply profound for me. Thank you
Tarot
for that.
is very archetypical. It deals
Yeah.
with certain structures. When you see the Emperor, I think certain things.
Yeah.
You really covered a lot in that deck. It's awesome, and
Those are all my friends.
I didn't know that it was going out of print, and I ordered a print just last week for a
You're
friend of
getting it
mine.
tomorrow. I just checked the UPS
Yes.
shipping, and there's literally, I could show you, there's just a couple dozen left. And we're not going to do it again because I just believe in that. I think there's a moment in time. And so everybody who got one or got two, they have something very special.
Yeah, that's a fantastic deck. I'd like the Lilith card, first of all. That's my
Thank
favorite
you.
card on the
That's my
deck.
girl.
That's your girl?
Thoroughly misunderstood figure. And if you study Kabbalah, she's not completely different, but she's not a demon. She was never married to Lucifer. And she actually worked for God killing demons.
Do tell.
And it's why
See,
there's a superstition in the Middle East about black dogs, because the animal sacred to her is a black dog.
really, Black Dog
Yes,
is my thing.
me too. Is that your thing in your coven? Are you the black dog?
I'm the Black Dog.
Shut the front door.
Are you the Black Dog?
No, I don't join any clubs, man. I've never met a black dog. This is
I'm a Black
all
Dog.
theory. You're the first one I've ever met. What an honor.
For those who don't know, a Black Dog is just the coven guardian.
Yeah.
I'm the big brother. I'm the
The
problem
bouncer,
solver. I'm the
the
bouncer.
broker. Yeah.
That's what it is. And funnily, funny enough, when I was given the title and asked to join the council on our coven, the next day I had to bounce somebody from the coven. I was like, "Are you
You're
kidding
kidding.
me?" My very
You
first
got
day.
called up right in time. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the synchronicities are off the chain lately. Some of them fun, some of them not so fun.
Right. Sip,
Mhm.
sip, everybody. I got my orange juice and my water.
Well, that's nice.
Um,
You're like a cool person. You can have sugar after noon.
well, I haven't
I
eaten lunch yet or dinner yet. My
Oh,
husband's at his family's and I'm diabetic, so the juice is to
that'll do it.
just float my boat for a little while
Float
until
your
I eat.
boat. Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna be asking Rachel some questions, but first I want to acknowledge some people that have joined us. So, you've watched this show long enough to know why I do this, Rachel.
Yeah.
So, our first person here is Joan Miranda. I have to say it like
So
that.
funny.
I don't know when I started doing that, but Joan Miranda, you have to say it like that. What up, girlfriend? Maruta, the best mod in the
Yeah.
biz, and she's also started doing lives on her channel.
Very cool.
Uh, who we got here? Annie. What's up, Annie? I'm actually going to visit my family this week and meet my sister-in-law, whose name is Annie. So this
Very cool.
Rebecca Joe.
Hi.
Okay, let's see
You
others.
can tell these are all your people. No one's being inappropriate yet.
Nobody is inappropriate. You're not allowed to be a twat waffle on my show, Viviani.
Well, they won't be nasty. They'll just be it's that trickster energy.
No, and Maru will bounce anybody before they get too out of pocket. And
Awesome.
Annie's these my people are very good, and I love and appreciate them. So let's pull up some questions here for you. I should have
Cool.
had that done. Here we are. So, Rachel, can you tell us before we start? I hate using this phrase, but how do you identify
Yeah.
witch, sorcerer, what?
Shaman.
Shaman.
And yeah, and people will give me hell about it. They go, "Don't you mean shamanic practitioner?" I'm like, no, because I would use that word if I meant that. And the reason being, yeah, I just wrote a post actually on Substack the other day called "What is Shamanism?" outlining, shamanism really picks you. And generally speaking, you're kind of disagreeable, but not in a nice way. We're very nice in real life, just not superficially. And there's a lot of physical phenomenon. Shamans can really move energy to matter, matter to energy. And because of that, we get sick with what's called shamanic illnesses, which has been basically my whole life. There's all these big lessons in them that I'm frankly fatigued of learning. I'm sure you can relate. Like,
Yeah.
it's enough. I've learned plenty. I can keep it moving. And, as the tarot deck, I think, reflects, we work a lot with spirit guides. And I joke with people that I'm the Mr. Magoo of shamanism because everybody in the deck, those major arcana cards and some of the court cards and things like that, came to me and I had no idea who they were. And I had to look into them like, oh no, this is real. This is a real thing. And it all lined up. Hathor being one of the more
I was just thinking Hathor when you
profound.
said that because I like the
Yeah.
symbols that you put
She
up
showed up in a dream of mine and she had a foot and she hit it 3 times on the ground and goes, "You rang to me." And she was really beautiful, like extraterrestrial beautiful. And then she read my cards and she did a Celtic cross reading and every card was a different image but all of them said Hathor.
That's
And I woke
fantastic.
up and I was like, "Who is Hathor?" And that began that whole thing. Same thing with Hecate. I had a dream with her. Where it wasn't even her presence. I'm originally from Chicago. So I've moved to Austin with my husband 4 years ago. He's a chef in the restaurant industry in Chicago because of COVID. It was tough. So we moved down here. But anyone who's ever ridden public transit in Chicago knows the L maps. Like, there's maps on the trains and it was the red line. And there was an intersection. Every street stop said Hecate. And I woke up, I was like, who's Hecate? And then I realized goddess of the crossroads. And I was like, well, seems
That's my
real.
girl.
Yeah.
I knew who she was, but the first time I truly had a run-in with her, well, run-in, I don't want to say it like that. First time I was exposed to her or she approached me was in a
Yeah.
dream. And that day my world changed. Everything changed for me.
Her
So
energy is really peaceful to me. And I don't think people get that from her when they read about her, but I liked it. It was the closest thing to Anubis.
yeah, but Hecate, what bothers me about the followers of Hecate now, if anything, is the fact that they try to sanitize.
Yeah.
And yes, Hecate has hundreds of names, literally about
Yeah.
300. One of them is Aranya, the heavenly one. And that's
Yeah.
the one, that type of feeling, Sotera, those aspects are the ones everybody wants to focus on. But
Oh, she
there's
showed
other
up to me as like a
aspects.
gray fog.
No, there's Brimo, who
Yeah.
is the angry one. There's Chrysalisanda la Potnicatonia, which is she who stands in hell wearing golden sandals, drinking blood. So
She sounds like my kind of girl.
she's a badass, and
Yeah.
it bothers me when I see people try to whitewash and sanitize. Oh no,
No.
Hecate's all about love. Hecate is the destroyer
Oh, I
of
didn't feel love.
what has come
I felt
before.
liminality, which I
Oh
like. I
yeah.
feel at home there. So I had a follow-up dream where I was in a high-rise penthouse, all glass, floor to ceiling windows, and it was this deep gray purple fog outside. And it didn't upset me though. And then there was a shades of gray Rothko painting on the wall. And I just knew it was Hecate. And I was just looking at her like abstract essence. And I woke up feeling cool.
It's weird you say that. When I'm dealing with Hecate energy, it's very distinctive. When I'm dealing
Yeah.
with Hermes energy, it's more about what you were talking about, like the
Interesting.
trickster energy. Because
Yeah.
Hecate, I get this feeling of just face front, right in your face. Hermes is always kind of a side-eye, cheeky energy, you know?
Hermes and I have fun every time I go to New Orleans. Only in New
Really?
Orleans. Yeah.
That's my boy right there.
Mm.
Hermes.
I love
used to
that you
live in New
practice
Orleans.
alchemy. I love New Orleans. New Orleans is my mistress.
I was
Even when I
weaned
lived
there.
in Chicago, I love New Orleans, man. I've been to New Orleans probably 4 dozen times. It's kind of gross now. I've been
You
to
know
Paris.
where Bourbon
Paris
and St.
sucks.
Anne, you know Bourbon
Yeah.
and St. Anne. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a bar there, or there used to be, called right on St. Anne, whatever it was. That was the first bar I ever went into when I was 15 years old.
I'm trying to think. It's not Chart Room. It's
There's the
not
Bourbon Pub on one
Fritzl's.
side of the street, and across the
Yeah.
street there was another one. The La Bistro. No,
Okay. That's
maybe
still there.
that sounds like it.
It's a
Anyway,
little
the
nicer
point
than where
is,
I go.
they used to let little boys like me
Yeah.
in, and yeah, I was stumbling around the French Quarter before I was able to drive. So, and I'm not
I've
proud of
brought,
that. It's
well,
just happens.
yeah. I brought several friends back from New Orleans. Like I had a Loa follow me, named Ochosi, again, that I
Did
had to
you?
look up. Yeah, he's very cool, very nice. Early on in my shaman studies, I had contact with Damballa, which is a big deal. And I didn't know
Yeah,
at the time. That's why he's in the deck as the world card, that world
I
A.
noticed that
Yeah.
because the Divine Masculine deck I'm working with has a Damballa. So that's the first time I really started
Yeah.
focusing
I
on
think
his
he's in
energy.
my friend Sally Glassman's Voodoo Tarot of New Orleans. Is that the name of it? Sally Glassman's High Priestess of Voodoo and has Isle of Salvation Botanica, and she's got a great voodoo deck. And I think Dumballa's in it. Let me
If you
see.
like New Orleans, you might like
Yeah.
this deck, the Southern Gothic Oracle.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's cool. It's got a mason jar on the cover, but it does deal with swampy stuff, and I love it.
Yeah.
So
Shaman.
yes, shaman,
Yeah.
shaman, shaman. How did you get into that?
I think
Yeah.
I think you're born a shaman. You don't know it for a long time. And then you start to look at it objectively and go, oh no, this is a real thing. And I think for me as an adult, it came in my early 20s. I've written about this. I was actually I've been on Nicole Bigley's podcast called A Psychic Story, I think 3-4 times. But the first time she goes, how'd you get into this? And I was like, okay, I'll be honest. I'm a little hyper literal. And I told her I was attacked by a demon in my old apartment building in Lincoln Park on the north side of Chicago. And all of my neighbors, this was like a building event. There were a lot of objective reality things to it where I couldn't deny it. There was physical evidence. It happened in waking reality, not a dream, not, and it was like textbook horror movie. And thankfully that time it came and went very quickly, but it sent me back to the drawing board. Let's put it that way. And that I was off to the races.
There might be an angel on there.
There might be.
Santeria tends to take gods and saints and kind of blur the line between them.
Well, Damballa is one half of the real name of voodoo. So voodoo's real name is the serpent in the rainbow. And it's Damballa in Aida Wedo.
I remember that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's ruined my childhood. That and it. Yes. Those did me in. I had to go to therapy as a little kid because I was like, this is real. Like some part, again, you're always a shaman. You're born
because it made it look real, believable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like movie magic. They were showing you this is the process, and I was amazed. Like
so Damballa is the name of a formal entity in that religion. And that goes back to Africa. So if it's an angel now, I don't, I grew up Catholic too and went to Catholic school. I don't remember Damballa in the choir of angels, but I may have missed that day. I did get mono.
Mono. Oh, I thought that was an angel. I was like, I don't remember that angel.
The angel of swollen lymph
The
nodes. Yeah.
angel of swollen
And
lymph
your parents
nodes.
asking you who you're kissing, and then
So
you tell them it's the water fountain.
how did shamanism enter your life?
Yeah, it was that demon attack. I just started reading everything I could get my hands on. And, because I decided like if I deny this experience, I'm just as bad as the religious fundamentalists that I had an issue with. It's why I became an atheist. I thought, growing up Catholic, like these people aren't as bright as they think they are. They couldn't answer my questions. They were really judgmental and seemed really narrow minded. And I was like, well, I can't be narrow minded in my atheism either. And then I went and saw a shaman, shout out to J.R. Hayes. He still does it in Chicago, and had psychic experiences sitting with him, and he would acknowledge them as I was having them. So again, I'm having another person kind of ping off of what I'm doing, and just endlessly intriguing to me. And really, I went to shaman school and paid a bunch of money for it. It wasn't that great, but the reading list was great. And so I kept studying, and then I decided, well, I've read tarot cards since I was 9. So why don't I just start learning by doing, really? And I started seeing clients in Chicago and doing card readings and teaching shamanic journeying, meditation workshops, and things like that. Yeah, mano a mano. And just, kept doing it when I worked in corporate America. And every weekend, this is what I did. It wasn't like, I didn't have kids and stuff, and I didn't really want to go to like brunch or watch football. So this was it for me, really a passion. And then 5 years ago, at the start of COVID, transitioned to doing this full time, publishing decks and, doing all that crazy stuff.
I'm going to pull up these questions here because they're really good
Yeah.
questions. So how long ago was that the shamanism entered your life?
Early 20s. I'm 42 now, so 2 decades.
You're not 42. Shut up.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Takes a
Really?
Swiss team of doctors. Yeah.
I've noticed that people who are either spiritual, whether Christian or witchcraft, they always have a thing about them. They look younger than they are.
Oh, well, thank you. My doctor will love this. I'll send it to her. She's from New Orleans. She'll think it's very funny.
In a few years, I'll be 60, so hopefully I'm still looking young.
Oh my God, you're like my husband. You don't age at all.
Ramon is another one. Moon Scarab, that boy does not age.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband's 53, and he literally, if he didn't have gray hair, you'd have no idea.
If you look at all the older ladies in church and everything, they all have that same energetic glow about them, that soft, powerful thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Christianity has it.
I've been looking not great. I'm looking forward to getting back to my expected level of aesthetic prowess.
You look awesome. Let's check chat.
Oh, thank you.
Before we go on to the next one.
I think it's important to admit you're vain too, by the way. It's fine.
Oh, fuck,
you can be
vain.
I'm
a Leo.
Oh, you're a Leo. That's right.
I'm hell yeah, I'm vain. Not only am I vain, I'm gonna wear a big t-shirt and a hat that says vain.
Yeah.
So the magician is the great manifester, but he's also the great communicator. Was it difficult starting to tell people about your spiritual side once it started manifesting?
I would say yes and no. So no, in that I might be a little neurodivergent, like for real, where I just don't read the room. And I worked in a very conservative industry, and I just told everybody the truth all the time. And it was sort of like, why are we lying? Why are we hiding? I'm incapable of it. I ruin surprise parties though, for real, both because I'm a psychic and because I don't understand secrets. I don't try to betray people ever, but it just like blows my mind. Like, why are we keeping this secret? That's so weird. Why would anyone care? But it was also easy in that I just did it. I think where the difficult thing with communicating this comes in is language doesn't fit the task. If we're trying to communicate ephemeral experiences of the sublime, it kind of transcends language. So how do you get somebody to understand that? And that's one of the goals of my Substack, is to try and use human scaled languages. And it forces me to get really clear on what I'm experiencing and what I think.
Speaking of your Substack, I forgot to put the information for your Substack
That's
on the
okay.
description box. I'm sure
Yeah.
Maru will jump on it
Yeah,
if I
it's
know her.
Totem Readings. It's the name of the
Um,
business, and we link
your
to it on the
website,
website. Yeah.
yeah, the website is on my description, and I'm sure somebody will post that right now. But um, yeah, I'm going to save that question for later. All right. The High
Yeah,
Priestess.
communicating this stuff is hard, don't you think? Just
It
because people don't know. They don't
it
know, like,
seems
does a
like
fish know it's in water?
what I like and what I don't like is that I'm up in your face and I'm spiritual at the same time. And those are not a good pair. So I'll give you, for instance, I'm going to visit my family in Salt Lake
Yeah.
City this week. Um, I'm wondering, should I wear one of my big hats with tarot cards sticking out of it when I get off the plane with all the Mormons or not? That's
Yeah.
I like to
Do it.
stand out. I like to
See,
cause
I like
attention.
that energy because it's honest. You know why it upsets other people? Because they know it's honest. Honesty destabilizes lies.
I told you Maru would put it up real quick.
Thank
Um,
you.
and she's got some great topics that come through there.
I really write about things that I'm thinking about because it forces me to think clearer about them and articulate it to myself and to others, actually. So, yeah, the magician card's near and dear to me because I love it, but also it's a demanding energy to hold
Can I
communicating.
ask a question? I'm going to back up
Yeah,
to the Fool card. Why did you choose Coyote for the Fool? I mean, I read the book, but
yeah.
um,
Because the fool is really, I see it as number zero in that Egyptian ritual sense of it's who you are before you're born and who you are after you die. Like the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, the first one to me, is the fool card coming to life. He becomes himself. He stops fighting his own nature. And so Coyote is a trickster, but he's also a creator. And it's that wink of like, I know who you really are. And you know who you really are, even though the face you wear is not your own.
well,
And
Coyote wasn't just a trickster, he was a hero and a trickster. And that's what
totally.
people forget. He was
Yeah.
kind of both, very
He
liminal, like what
saves
we
the
were
world
talking
many
about.
times and creates existence
Yes,
many times. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So the
Um,
fool is never foolish. He seems foolish and he seems funny, like a coyote kind of trickster energy, but he knows a lot more than you. Yeah, and it's a reminder to go on a scavenger hunt too. Like zero starts and ends the deck, and it's like this is going to be fun. Play the game,
the High Priestess
Lilith.
was was tarot the first divinatory tool you ever used?
Yeah. And my dad had a client at work who was just a printer who made playing cards, baseball cards. You know, this is before Pokemon cards, by the way. Unfortunately, I'd be rich with Pokemon card money. But he had a deck of tarot cards in there, and I just grabbed them and I just started doing it. Like I took to it in a really, looking back on it, like very creepy way. And I
Yeah,
loved it. And it really became, whether this is sad or not, is another story. It became like my friend.
I've tried to think about. Okay, I started tarot when I was 15.
Okay, that's young.
Yeah, well, we had a high school class called Unexplained Phenomena, and all you did was read tarot cards and watch scary movies and talk about it. So I was like,
Why didn't I
sign
get to
me
go to
up.
that school? That's
Claremont
terrible.
High School, hippie town, loved
So
it.
in high school, I had to go to Wheaton, Warrenville South. Wheaton is the born again Christian capital of the world. It's home of Wheaton Bible College. It's a dry town, and that's where I went to
Oh,
high school.
that's where I'm going this week. I'm no weed, no alcohol, no nut. Well, I
Yep.
don't drink, but I need my weed for my medical conditions.
Yes, it reduces
So,
inflammation.
and it keeps me from vomiting. So
Hmm.
this, cross your fingers. When I come home Sunday, I'm going to spend the day in bed with a bong. That's it.
Yep. Yep.
um, now, the question for the high priestess was the tarot the first tool you use. Okay, so we
Yeah.
did that. The empress. Um, in what ways do you nurture your spiritual self?
I really think for me, that's been getting into herbalism and making flower essences because it gives you an excuse to grow a garden. and research it. I'm writing on Substack for the next full moon, a whole thing. It's called The Blood of the Gods. And it's about Icar, right? And Mali, and where the ancient gods, the Titans and Olympians bled, flowers grew. And not just one kind, a whole bunch of them. And so for me, reading about that, reconnecting to the time before time, kind of, it's really nourishing for me. And my spiritual work in the last year and a half with Prometheus has been very demanding. Obviously, he's a god who was chained to the side of a mountain while an eagle ate his liver. So I knew it was going to be that chill. But, this connection to him has been really nourishing for me. He's kind of punk rock.
He's kind of punk rock. I love that.
Yeah, he is.
I was looking for... Where are you?
I think Rebecca Joe's in the chat. She just became a new Substack subscriber. So thank you, Rebecca. And just so you guys know, awesome. I can't see the comments, but Bobby does a very good job.
Yeah, if there's something I notice, I will put it up. I can't find it. Okay, here it is. Now you could have named this anything, but I'm curious why you chose sage as holy water. Okay.
Because that's how I use it. So I put it, and I did this before I made it to sell it. I grow it and I put it in grain alcohol, and then I convert it into a spray bottle and I spray it. I do a lot of feng shui and clearings, and being a shaman, you have to clear a lot. And they don't like sage, man. They being little nasties or negative entities or
psychic
little
cooties.
Psychic cooties. So yeah, it's holy water. And it's, to me, it's obviously funny and it's a pun on words, but it's very real.
I saw it and I was giggling. I was like, hee hee.
Yeah.
It's the little things that make me laugh. I'm like, I'm using holy water. Nobody would think that's funny but me.
Well, I get emails from clients, and because I'm so damn literal, they're like, just so you know, I sprayed holy water over. I'm like, oh shit, are you okay? They're like, no, you're holy water.
Did it burn?
Yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute, do you need one of my friends who's an exorcist? Like, what's going on with you? Are you all right? And they're like, dude, I bought it from Etsy. I was like, oh yeah. Very funny.
So, Rachel, you have a lot going on. You create decks, you write, your Substack, you're this, you're that, the other. How do you manage to stay so structured?
Well, I think my friend Sam, who read my chart on the podcast I do, would say it's the Virgo rising, by the way. But I think it's because I grew up poor. I think, early poverty, you have like the grind in you in a way. And the other thing I would say is I am not, being psychic and highly liminal, I'm not naturally organized. So I structure everything. I have this. So I have an online calendar. I'm really regimented, but I also write daily tasks, 2025 planner. Every day I start my day looking at that list and I stay on it. And the other thing I would say is, very emperor, I don't let a lot of bullshit in. I don't waste time. Like, if somebody wants to talk and it's just negative, I'm like, I got to keep, and I'll just say to them, you think you're bad. I go, I can't do this today with you for no reason. Like I tell people, I have a bank account of energy. I can only write so many checks. Otherwise my ass isn't going to be able to cash them all.
I love that. And I'm going to be using that.
It's the true story, man. Yeah. When you do energy work, you feel your energy tank, I think, more than other people.
If I have to do a long day of reading, and when I say a long day, I'm talking exceptionally long. Like recently I had a psychic fair, and then I had to go and do our Coven Haunted Garden that we do for the public. So I was reading for 10, 11, 12 hours that day.
I had a day like that in Chicago. I remember very vividly. Yeah.
And I slept the entire next day, and everyone was asking me, well, why you, or my husband, why are you sleeping so much? You didn't do anything yesterday but sit there. And I'm like,
no, I have a theory that psychic readings, they use trace minerals and electrolytes, and you actually get dehydrated. And I've noticed, particularly with mediumship, if I do 3 or 4 mediumship sessions in a day, I burn calories. Have you noticed that? You lose weight?
I have lost weight during long. When I say long sessions of magic, I'm talking if I'm working towards a goal, I'm working on it every day for several weeks.
Yeah.
And
that high vibration increases your metabolism.
Yeah. There's a
Hmm.
book called The Black Jewels Trilogy, and in that, their body wastes from overuse of their power. So yeah, they have to
Yeah.
constantly eat.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Nobody's ever brought that up before. I'm
Putting
glad you
it, I'm
said
writing a
something.
book right now. It got delayed because of my getting sick, but it's called The Business of Woo. And one of the chapters is on energetic hygiene, but it's like you're going to burn more calories, you're going to use more trace minerals, you drink electrolytes, eat grounding food, like eat. And if you have to smoke pot, ingest hemp oil, whatever it is. And a lot of people don't want to ground. They like the euphoria of that high vibe. But that means you're kind of still in session. You got to come back to earth sometimes. Yeah.
I just sent my friend Selena some grounding oil that Joey and I made. It
Oh,
is,
awesome. Is Joey
I'll,
that wonderful witch you do the 420? Yeah, I saved her website to my bookmarks and I'm going to get that oil. I just
she
need
is
to get on it.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
You need to try the divination oil that she makes.
Okay.
It is great. I didn't I wasn't prepared for how good it was going to be. I was expecting, oh, it would give
Yeah.
me a little facilitate. No, that shit blew my third eye wide open. I was like,
Mm.
I was okay.
I should send you some of our Black Mirror flower essence. I grow
I would
these, what's
love
called
that.
Black Mirror irises, beautiful black bearded irises that smell like barnyard. I'll send
Iris
you a bottle.
is a messenger goddess. That's one of Joey's goddesses. That's funny. You
That's
should bring her there.
my jam. That's the one I always take. And it's called Black Mirror because it's good for scrying divination, but it works in a very specific way on like coalescing the data so that it
Right.
makes sense. So people tell me their lucid dreams make sense, where they go, "Oh, I know what that's about now."
My dreams never make sense to me. Um,
Well, what's
I,
your moon in?
I am Leo with Gemini rising, Mercury
Okay.
rising. Yes. So it's fire and air.
Yeah,
So I'm explosive, but
it's cool.
I'm very vain. I can be very lazy.
Well, my Venus
Um,
is in Leo, I learned when Sam read my chart, and he's like, "You're a nightmare to deal with because you're very tyrannical emotionally and sexually. But if
if
you're
you
not in the
don't
mood,
get
you're like
what
a
you
cat.
want, yeah.
Yeah, like pay attention to me, don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to me, don't pay attention to me."
Well,
Yeah.
Venus rules needs balance.
Hmm.
It rules Libra also, so
Yeah.
it's
Well, I
all
have
about.
Leo in, or my Venus is in Leo, I guess. I'm not a Western astrologer, but I've been told that means I'm a very difficult woman, if that makes you feel any better.
Um, we're all difficult, my love. It's part of our nature.
Yeah.
Do you follow any particular path or religion? You said shamanism. You
Yeah.
mentioned Lilith. It sounds like with all the gods and goddesses you've mentioned in your first deck,
Yeah.
um, I'm a chaos witch. I kind of pull from
Okay.
everywhere. We used to call it eclectic, and now they're
Yeah.
rebranding chaos witch. Um,
Cool.
whatever gets the job done,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I love
And
it. Yeah, my several of my friends do chaos magic. They're fun. I don't do any ritual except my containers before readings or client sessions. What I would say is I am probably religiously best described as highly theologically literate pagan. So I studied Hebrew. I've read Kabbalah in Hebrew. I've read the Old Testament in Hebrew, the parts of it that aren't in Greek. I tried transliterating it from ancient Greek, but I'm no Eamon Hillman. It's a
my
tough
sister does
language.
stuff like that. She'll try to
That's hard.
translate stuff. She's
Yeah.
deep.
And I'm really deep on, all of the what we would say the Abrahamic religions. I know quite a bit
Mhm.
about them, but I'm really interested in ancient Sumer because I feel like
Ooh,
stuff was going down in Sumeria. Aiken and Lil,
Mesopotamia. Yeah,
and yeah. So that's
that's
my
that's
jam. And what's
yeah.
funny is I'm part Native American. I've never once had a Native American guide ever in my work. So it is what it is. Again, you don't pick it, it picks you.
I'm Mexican and Native American. Half Apache on my dad's side and Comanche on my mom's side.
Not
So
very chill
basically,
tribes.
I'm very at war with myself at all the time. You know.
Yeah, they were, because I'm Sioux and Cherokee, and the Apache and the Comanche. were like you didn't want to get caught by them.
Mm-mm.
No
Nah.
wonder. I mean, and you're a Leo. God bless. I think you're very sweet considering.
It's because you're not married to me. Ask my husband. I'm
What's his
actually
sign?
pretty chill. My husband is Capricorn. I'm married.
Fantastic.
Um, I, for those watching who aren't following our conversation well, I'm a fire sign. I'm very outgoing, I need to keep the party going. My husband is
Yeah.
Capricorn. He's earth sign. He's very grounded. So what I tell people is he gives my picture a frame and
Yeah.
I give his picture color. So that's how we work
Yeah.
together.
I'm married to a Pisces and I'm a Cancer.
Ooh.
And so we
Ooh.
get along really well, but it's funny because he's much more go with the flow, feeling vibes, very mutable, right?
Do you
And
guys
I'm definitely cardinal.
um he doesn't like to talk a lot. So we've been together 25,
Yeah.
26 years. So we don't really need to,
Yeah.
we understand what's going on, that unspoken language that couples have. Um, I think he's psychic, but I'm not going to
Oh,
tell
yeah.
him that.
Oh, my husband's deeply, genuinely empathic. And it's one of the reasons he had to get out of working as an
He's
executive
Pisces.
chef in restaurants. So now he's a private chef. It was a huge, huge level up in his quality of life because, restaurant kitchens, it's very dramatic there. If anyone's ever watched Vanderpump Rules, the story. Everybody's sleeping with everybody, everybody's on drugs, everybody, it's really intense, and he would feel it in his chest cavity for sure. And he's much more sensitive to things like the Schumann resonance, the Earth's vibration or solar flares
Yes.
than I am. So he's in it, but he's not a working psychic. And one of the things I most love in our relationship is he doesn't give a shit about my woo. When I'm with him, I'm a person, but he
Yeah.
believes it. Yeah, he doesn't judge it, but I get to just be a human in my relationship. Yeah.
I know what you mean. For everybody else in my
Yeah.
life, I'm Bobby, the tarot reader, or
Yeah.
the instructor, or this or that, the other. But with him, I'm just the idiot he picked up at a bar. That's
I
it.
met my husband on Bumble.
Did you?
I
No.
did. So I don't
He.
know. Bumble's not as cool as a bar. Trust me.
I was bartending at the time, and he came in looking for somebody else, and I fell in love with his green eyes. He's a Hispanic man with green eyes, and I was just like, take me now. And 2 weeks later, we were living together, and it's been 20 something years. So
We started living together right away. I think psychics know. Don't you think it's sort of our blessing and our curse that
I
I'm just
agree.
like, just get your moving truck. It's happening. Just do it.
It's
Yeah.
true. I mean, there's a joke about lesbianism about
Oh yeah.
what
And
do you take on a
Subarus.
first date? Yeah,
Yeah.
you take
I played a lot of softball. A lot of my best friends are lesbians, and they're my favorite people on planet Earth.
Oh, we got a few more people join us. Let's see. We've got Scotty Boy. What's up, Scotty Boy? Swampy. Rebecca Joe. I think I said hello. If not, hello. Timmy. What's up, Timmy? Bridget is here. That's not Bridget. That's Annie. There's Bridget. Okay, we got a lot of people going on tonight. Rachel White is joining us, the creator of the Totem Tarot and the Totem Flower Essence Deck. I have to keep reading it off the box. I'm gonna keep
I'm
messing
sorry.
that.
Yeah. It's because it's never been done before. And so we made a weird hybrid thing. Yeah.
I'm fine with it. So speaking of your husband,
Mhm.
um, how have your romantic relationships been shaped by your spirituality?
Oh,
I know you said your
yeah.
husband doesn't give a shit, but
But he believes it. And I'll tell you, we had a very interesting conversation 2 nights ago. I don't know if your husband's like this where they surprise you. And he came in, he's like, just so you know, I was reading on Twitter, a bunch of other people are having spiritual illnesses right around the same time as you. And he was listing all these people. And it was like, because it gets dark early now and stuff. And I had been laying in bed and I was like, okay, honey, thanks. So I would say almost everyone I ever was in a relationship with believed
excuse
a
me.
Gesundheit. But, one of them in particular I'll never forget, we were engaged. He was a lot older than me, obviously well before I met my husband. who had an entity, and I would like fight with it, you know? And so it adds, I'd say being spiritual adds layers to relationship dynamics where you're like, oh, there's a lot going on here beneath the surface, kind of. And I'd also say if something doesn't match, if it doesn't fit, you're going to want to scratch and sniff it if you're psychic. So we're really annoying.
We
Like
really
that
are.
ex had like weird secrets, like financial, legal things going on. And he would always be like, Rachel, why can't I be alone with my own thoughts? So I was like, because your thoughts are screaming in the room. Like I can't not hear it. Right.
When, all right. Um, I have a problem being around a lot of people,
Me too. Yeah.
especially in bars when I'm sober, because there's too much going on, too much activity,
Yeah.
too much action, and I'm just overwhelmed with emotion. When I'm with my husband, I don't feel that. I feel grounded. I feel
Yeah.
it's just like a natural defense. He's a giant crystal, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Well, what's
Um,
funny is my husband's like a giant empath. And so if I watch him react to something, I go, oh God, I'm not alone. That is happening. Or, you know, he's a bit of a weather vane. He doesn't do a lot with it, but I can perceive it. And so, you know, it leaves you feeling seen, I think, and
it
your
does.
experience gets validated. And also, he's very funny. And, you know, two water signs, and our dog's a Libra Scorpio cusp. This house is nothing but Netflix and inside jokes. When I have to go out in the outside world, I'm always like hissing at it. Yeah.
He's a pain in the butt, but he's mine. The thing I
Well,
love
aren't
about
Capricorns very sexy?
he is incredibly sexy to me.
Yeah.
I
I
I
think
fell
people
in love with
sleep
him
on
right
that with
away.
Capricorns.
He doesn't, like you said, he doesn't put up with my shit, and I think that's what attracts me to him. I
Yeah.
can't wrap him around my finger. Anybody else, I at that time in my life, I was a good-looking guy, and I could
Oh,
just
you're still good looking,
any guy, I
but
could just
you have
no
the
problem.
charisma. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
uniqueness, serve, and the talent. So I was just a rotten person, but he he's awesome. He lets me be me. He's an earth sign. I'm a
Yeah.
fire sign, and earth and fire don't normally go together because fire can't really activate the earth, and the earth kind of stomps out the fire. But looking at it in
Yeah.
another way, that earth and fire makes lava. That's the way I look at it.
Well, and in the Chinese zodiac, next year we're going to have a fire horse year, and there's a bit of earth element in it that grounds the fire, that makes it work. So it's, you know, in Chinese astrology, you guys are a house on fire.
Yeah, we are. That's the way I
Yeah.
look at it. Um, so let's go on to our next one, the chariot. The chariot. Had I been smart, I would have pulled the totem tarot out and then
Don't
used
worry
it
about
as
it.
a hold it up.
I have it.
The
I
chariot
always
has
do, by the
been
way.
the
It's
chariot has
nice.
been oh, has it been difficult moving forward with your chosen path, and what kind of roadblocks have you faced? That's the one
Here's
I
what I would
wanted to
say
ask.
is not for any obvious reason, not for any of the reasons I was worried about when I was planning on transitioning out of corporate America to do this. Like I was worried, like, is it going to be weird? Are people going to be weird? And none of that's the case. People don't stop seeing you as a serious person. What I would say though is the last 5 years, the economy and society, you know, all that earth sign stuff that
Yeah,
your husband's probably very good at being a Capricorn. That's been the struggle. And that's why I'm writing this Business of Woo book, because I think people, I do a lot of mentoring and coaching work for them, people trying to either start a woo based business or transform it or scale it or something. And they have really typically, and it's not their fault, they get told this by Instagram and TikTok, unrealistic expectations of what things are like out here. And what it, you know, having doing so many readings at scale, what that takes from you physically, it's like it's a lot, and the struggle is real. Etsy right now, I was reading online, there's this article about it, I forgot the name of the journalist, but Etsy sales are down 50% this year over last
really.
year, and that's just the economic contraction. I have an Etsy shop where I sell my decks and my tinctures, and I thought it was me. So I was, of course, beating myself up. And thankfully I'm doing okay. But I would just say the material limitations to it. If you want to be ethical, you have to really want it, and you have to be really clever about solutions, because nobody cares. Nobody's coming to save you. You know, the boats are burning, man.
Yeah.
It's you. So, and that's why I
like
think
that.
a childhood in poverty like helps you, because you're like, all right, this is a roadblock, so I'm going to move around it, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to figure it
That's
out.
a
Yeah.
very good point. I grew up poor, like you say, and I'm not afraid to fail because I grew up
Right.
with nothing,
What do we have to
so
lose?
what have you got to lose
Yes.
versus what do you got to gain? You'll
Yeah,
never
so
know unless you do it.
I'm really happy with the path I chose. I really am. And it's thankfully worked out. But I don't know that someone who doesn't love this is going to hang that long. You got to love this.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is especially if you're truly dedicated to tarot, it's never ending. You're always going to be learning something.
Oh, yeah.
And let me just throw this out now for anybody watching. I think if you are going to learn tarot, you need to really look at the tree of life to understand how it relates to the
Yeah.
tarot people. That's why the tree of
Kabbalah,
life
it's
is
why I
on
studied
the Ten
Hebrew.
of Pentacles. All right,
Yeah.
that Ten of Pentacles has that tree of life for a reason. Go check it out as to why it's there. We're gonna do a thing. I'm starting my Patreon, so I'll be doing
We
that.
made the tree of life our 9 of Moons
I know.
card.
Okay,
Because
now
Kabbalah
the
matters. Yeah.
hold that up again for a second.
Okay. Here, let me find it again. God help me. Here we go.
The lightning path on that
Yeah.
seems there it is. From the
Because certain
they're out of
things
order,
have
right?
multiple.
They're
Oh yeah.
okay. Every time I
Yeah.
look at that, I'm like trying to draw a line down the serpent path and the lightning path.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful cards.
Thank you. Well, and I want
Will
people
you
to
hold
study
up
Kabbalah, to your point.
if you come across it, can you hold the
Yeah.
Lilith card up? Because that is
Of
truly one of
course.
my favorite ones.
And we're making merch with her and with some of the other major arcana. My friend Amy owns a company, a merchandise company. They do tour merch collaborations with like Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace, and Gwar and System of a Down.
Gwar.
Yeah.
You know who Gwar is? People don't know
Of
who
course I
Gwar
do.
is.
So they're doing a merch collection to help me. I love you. Trust me, real recognizes real. And she's going to be a part of it. And we're etching her on glass. We're putting her on goth Christmas ornaments, beautiful hoodies, hockey jerseys. It's the same company I told you about. Their logo is a pentagram.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Lilith is my girl. And if you read real Kabbalah, she's a hero. She's complicated. She's an anti-hero, just like Prometheus, right? And Odin, all these other figures where she's liminal and has moral flexibility, but she's not Satan's wife. And, not that that's even a problem, but it's just not anywhere to be found in Kabbalah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. People throw shit at us all the time.
We wanted this to be reminiscent of like a Japanese water dragon skeleton, like something archaeologists or paleontologists found, and also our DNA.
To that, what you said about okay, thank you. That is such a beautiful card. That's a
Thank
snake, you guys.
Shout out to Emma.
Know.
Yeah.
I totally lost the thought I just had. It'll come back, I'm sure. All right. So where do you find your inner strength when you're trying to hold it together?
This has been coming up a lot lately. I really go to spirit guides. And it's why when I do coaching work one-on-one with people, I focus early and often on who are your guides? Why are they here? What are they here to teach you? What are you here to work with them on? You have Hermes, Hecate. When you're in the shit, they show up. Like the other night, I was in it so hard, and I can't say about what, but there were issues with medical records where they got transcribed with someone else's chart in them. And this is a very high stakes situation I'm in. So I'm talking to the office, and it's like 7 o'clock on a Friday. God bless her. They're not open on Fridays. And the office manager is in there trying to help me. And she calls me. And right before she calls me, I say to Amy, who's working on this merch collection, I go, Amy, I'm using you as a manifestation node, which might be chaos magic. Maybe I've been doing it the whole time. And I said, I need a sign so that I don't become hopeless. I'm very tired. This is very hard. The woman calls me back and she goes, I was commanded by God to tell you you're very strong. He says you're one of the strongest people who's ever lived. And she quoted the Bible, the line of covering yourself in God's armor. And I was like, there it is, And so I never feel alone. Actually, people make me feel lonely when I'm in the presence of other humans.
I never feel alone.
But when I'm alone, I feel like I'm with friends. And so I would say to anyone listening to this, develop a spirit guide practice for real. It pays dividends.
It really does. I work with my spirit guides. And I say it like that because my ancestors are part of my spirit team, and I don't use my family. These are not tools. They're your companions in magic, not your slaves. So
at all. Yeah.
I work with my ancestors to bring clarity to my tarot work, but I use my tarot work to bring clarity to my ancestors. So it kind of feeds off each other. It helps me communicate with them and understand them. It's just, you guys do tarot. It's awesome. I tell everybody.
When you say ancestors, is it just people you knew, or is it ancient ancestors? Yeah.
The ancient ones, I don't know their names.
But they show up.
I've asked, and it doesn't come through. I don't hear it. I don't see it. I don't get a vision of it, but I get an overwhelming sense of power. Like they're beyond the language, so to speak. And that they don't really need to speak to me in the same way like my aunts do or something like that.
Yeah.
When you get hit in the face with a wave, you're wet. Okay, so
that's what communicating with the Titans has been like for me in the last year, where it transcends language.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't hear it. I just feel it, and I know. I woke up this morning with an overwhelming sense of pressure around me, and I know that there's somebody trying to get a message through me today or preparing me for today with you. Either way, I embraced it because I don't feel danger. I just feel power. So
I hope it's not my dead grandma bothering you. We named a flower essence after her called Dead Grandma.
Oh, that's where that came from. Okay.
Yeah. She really is dead. She would think it's very funny. Yeah.
Mine would too. Funny story. Speaking on that, I'll tell you, when my dad passed, his girlfriend and my sister and myself went down to the funeral home, took care of the arrangements, and one of the last things they said was, and mind you, my dad had a great sense of humor. The lady says, and what about flowers? What would you like? And we picked them out. She says, and what would you like it to say on the banner? And I said, Bon Voyage. And my sister and I just fell on the ground crying. We were just laughing so hard. And his girlfriend just lost her mind. How could you? We're like, dude, he would have loved that joke, and you know it.
Do you want to hear the funniest, darkest story you'll ever hear? So my grandmother passed away. I spent a lot of time with her. We knew she was dying. She had a lot of lung diseases and problems. And I got on a train to go from downtown Chicago out to the suburbs to meet her as she was dying. I was picked up at the train station by my Uncle Kevin, who said, she just passed like a minute ago, and brought me back, because it's hospice and the bed's there, and she's like there, but dead. And my Uncle Jim, her other son, was there with me. And he goes, lean over and kiss your grandmother. I was like, get the fuck away from me. What are you talking about? And it's just this whole back and forth. And he was like my softball and soccer coach growing up, very cool guy. And I go, fine, because he was acting weird about it. I was like, fine, whatever. It's like, I know it's your mom. I'll give her a kiss or whatever. And I lean over and he takes her hand, grabs me with it. to scare the shit out of me. And I'd never seen him laugh harder. And that's not normal, by the way, but she would have approved of that joke.
Yeah.
That was rather the point of it. Yeah.
I love that. It just break that tension, get you used to
Yeah.
it.
He was
That's
like,
awesome.
ooh, like just gave me a medical case of the willies. I had
Right?
heebie-jeebies for a week afterwards.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'll tell you why I don't care too much. When my friend PJ passed,
Yeah.
it I went to see her in the hospital, but when I saw her, I was like, she's not here anymore. This isn't her.
Right. Right.
Um, it's not. I mean,
No, they're gone. It was so obvious.
yeah.
Yeah. They leave. And then you go to awake and you look at them and you're like, that's not them.
If anything, I'm paying honor to the vehicle they drove while they were here. That's it.
Right. Yeah. And, in Kabbalah, they talk about the breath of the bones, which is why people sit Shiva. And there is something about treating the body with respect. Uncle Jim, although Uncle Jim just, God help him. I know. That sense of humor, man. And by the way, it's my opinion. He and I talked about it when I was 13. I said to him, I go, I think I'm psychic. And he was like, well, of course you are. Like, he was that first safe person for me, very Libra, and he was a Libra. And so he wasn't being nasty. And I think that's part of why he got away with that stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I think everybody needs people in their lives like that who are
Yeah.
gonna take the piss out of things for you,
That's my entire family. Yes.
I love it. All right. So, how do you spend your alone time?
Oh, I love
When you're
alone
not
time.
working, when you're
Yeah.
not creating, just
Yeah.
you.
Do you want the real? It's
Yes.
embarrassing. I get high and I watch Cops.
I'm with you.
Cops is so intensely funny and real. It's so real. People just living in the moment. No one has a driver's license. What's that? Yeah.
Three shows that I will get high and just chill and play games to.
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race,
Awesome.
Cops, or a cop related show.
Yeah, like live PD. Yeah.
Yeah, live feeding, or
Totally.
Ink Masters.
Oh yeah, my husband he's got beautiful tattoos. Yeah. I would say I have a guilty pleasure I watch Real Housewives, and I'll tell you why. It lowers your vibration. So if you've done a big day of like, my coaching work is like very deep existential questions, issues, channeling sessions, maybe Hermes comes in, and you're carrying this energy for other people all day. And then you just watch like Tamra Judge scream at Gretchen Rossi and you feel better.
Gretchen's a bitch. I'm sorry.
She's a Scorpio. She and Slade, do you know they're both Scorpios?
Did they?
And they're married. What? Yeah. Yep. They both are. And Tamara's a Virgo. And Tamara's rough around the edges, but
okay, Tamara
Gretchen's
held it together for the first year. Gretchen.
Yeah. No.
I'm not going to go off on the housewives, but
and Gretchen
after
dresses
the first
like
year,
a
when
Barbie
they started
doll.
losing it and losing their demeanor and letting you see the real crazy behind it, that's when I was like, okay, now it's getting good.
Yeah.
My dear, we're now at the Wheel of Fortune. Can you share a significant turning point in your spiritual journey?
Yeah, I would honestly say, because it's kind of rocked my world the last year and a half. Odin, on the big eclipse, it was a total solar eclipse. I forgot what day that was, but here in Texas, it went fully black last year, maybe April.
Was that when the big X was over Texas?
Yeah. We were feeling it too. And Odin came to me. We were just sitting in the backyard with our eclipse glasses on. He said, hey, by the way, you're getting a new spirit guide. Sort of like my handler at the CIA was handing me off to a new manager.
That's
and he
what
goes,
it
he's going to be
like.
Prometheus. And I go, okay, whatever. Like, I care. I'm trying to pay attention to the eclipse. And then everything, in classic shamanic fashion, started to go to shit, started to get awesome in Technicolor. And huge shift for me because, and I've written about this on Substack, me researching him and doing shamanic work. I've realized he's been with me since I was born. He's actually been the silent presence. Everything I've ever gotten into, he's got a prophecy of divination, of culture and civilization, magic, but herbalism very specifically. And also he hates, my whole life I've been a real problem for anyone trying to be a tyrant. Like I'm a total pain in the ass to people who want to be authoritarian. I get a hard on for them. Like I'm a problem. And I read this great play, by the way, ancient, first tragedy ever written, first anti-hero ever. It's called Prometheus Bound. And he's tied to the side of a mountain, and Hermes, your buddy, is talking shit to him,
Mm-hmm.
which is great, as only Hermes can. And you realize he's here in a very Aquarian energy. Like he hates tyranny. And he gives these series of speeches about how humans are good enough and they can step into it. Oh my God, I know. Cops, AJ, the AJ is one of my, shout out to AJ. AJ is cool. AJ,
Hey.
Cops makes me feel like I'm winning at life every day.
It's true. It's sad,
But
it's
also
true.
it gives you compassion for both criminals and the police. Sometimes it does, where you just see them, they're just people. They're just people having a bad day. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of new faces to my channel.
Oh yeah,
here.
because I told them 7.
Things.
Sorry, they're all here.
I apologize.
No worries, guys.
I'm in Arizona. Our time doesn't change, so it does cause problems for me sometimes. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. If you are not
Bobby's awesome,
subscribed
guys.
to Rachel's channel, please do so. We have a lot of good shows on my channel. We do.
One
And
thing
then
I'll
we've
say
got a
about you,
lot of
Bobby,
fun.
I immediately noticed outside of you being genuinely knowledgeable, and it's no accident you're familiar with Kabbalah and all this stuff, but also you're ethical. I can tell. You don't shill stuff you don't like. You're earnest and authentic. And I really
Because
appreciate that.
somebody's gonna bring it up in the future, something
I
you say.
know.
So I have to be honest because I smoke a lot and I'll forget what I said. So
Yeah.
if you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, liars have a lot to manage, don't they? It's
They
tough
really do.
keeping all that straight. I know.
I used to be that way. I lied about it. Well, I was a teenage runaway, so I did a lot of things and had to fly by
Yeah.
the skin of my pants.
To
But
survive. Yeah.
to survive, but
And
I
you
grew up
adapt.
and I grew out of it,
Yeah.
so
Totally.
um I'm really enjoying this. Oh, Rebecca, thank you. I'm a superhero.
And you know, if you believe in spirit, you should try your hardest to be as authentic as you can be because, you know, people always ask me about it. And I go, I had these women trying to work me, Bobby, trying to get me involved in some weird fugazi, like multi-level marketing thing or whatever. And they were kind of relentless about it. I looked at them one day and I go, you guys know I actually believe this stuff, right? And they were like, yeah, of course we do. I go, no, but that means I think invisible things watch me when I'm not being recorded or I'm not in public. Like that's the standard of morality I hold myself to. So I don't care who's going to find out about what. Like they already
Yeah.
know. The people I care about already know. Yeah.
I am crazy. I'm nuts. And I'm the first one to say it. So I talk to invisible people.
Yeah.
I take water and dirt and I make things happen on the other side of the country.
Thaumaturgy.
This is what I believe. So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Either you believe or you don't. This sort of like why you're cherry picking what part of this you're going to
And I'm
embody is
sure as
funny.
hell, once I say I believe something, I'm not gonna say, well, I kind of, I see, I feel these things sometimes. No, bitch, say it
No.
loud with your chest. I'm a fucking
Yeah.
empath. I'm a
In the words of
witch.
Shia LaBeouf, my shit is neon. Did you ever
I
see that
don't like
interview with him
him,
and
but
John Bernthal? I
I
know, but
love
it's the
him.
most accidentally hilarious thing you'll ever see. Watch it. It's called Real Ones. And he's like, I can freak lima beans. My shit is neon. It's
My
like
shit is
when
neon.
Kanye's manic and he's like, I'm Walt Disney. It's very funny. It's funny to watch. I enjoy mania. Sorry. And
I
not in my life, but on YouTube. Yeah.
I am a fan of Shia LaBeouf in Constantine. I
Oh,
love that.
Constantine's perfect
I
in
can't
every
wait
way.
for the part 2.
I know.
Okay, so here we are. Justice. The Justice card
Yeah.
is one of the cards that asks us if our actions have been in balance. If you could go back and change one thing in your life, what would you change?
You know, I always think of Ma'at, which is the name of the Justice card in my deck, the Egyptian goddess of weighing your heart against
The
a
wife
feather.
of
And
Thoth. Yes.
Yeah, there are things that make my heart heavy. And one of them would be I did not make it to my uncle, Jim, who played the amazing prank with my grandmother's corpse. I didn't make it to his funeral during COVID because I had moved and it was during COVID. And it happened. They didn't know I had moved because it was so abrupt. And so they invited me without understanding what needed to shift there. And so I wish I could have been at his wake and funeral. He was really funny at wakes and funerals too. But he came to see me the day he slipped into a coma. I was sitting at my dining room table eating with my husband. I heard, "Holy shit, Rach, I can see you." Clear as day, a guy's voice. And I was like, and then 2 days later, I got a call and it's like, he's in a coma. I was like, oh my God, that was him. So I
Dude,
wish I could chat with him. And it's interesting as a medium, I don't want to try and do the work for myself at all.
I get you. I don't want to. Yeah. Tell
Yeah,
me
and I
more. Tell
reached
me
out to
more.
a woman who had very good Yelp reviews, supposedly here in Austin. Apparently, she's lying about that, which is weird to do. And told me she did it so she could stay busy, and she sucked. And it just kind of bummed me out. And that's the thing that makes my heart heavy is I'd like if anyone out there's a good medium who wants to really help me talk to my uncle, I would really appreciate that. Yeah, that's why people need to do this only if you really mean it, guys. For real. It's weird. She was like, he wants you to dance to Leanne Rimes. I was like, my uncle listened to the Clash and he would never dance if someone put a gun to his head. He was
Right.
Irish. Like he wasn't down with that.
I can. All right. I was going to say something about dancing with the corpse at an Irish
Oh yeah.
funeral.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the only
Well,
time.
that, she was in it, I could tell she just was used to saying really uplifting, affirmative bullshit. And you could tell it
I
was like a
hate that.
script.
Oh.
At least in New Orleans, the script is good.
When my clients, I get text messages all the time saying, "Hey, I want to thank you again. What you said came
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Thank you." Because I don't tell them, "Oh, you're going to meet a tall, dark stranger." I'm like, "Bitch, buckle up. You know,
Right.
shit's going sideways.
You
Get
tell
it
them what you
together."
see, because that's
Yeah.
your ethical responsibility. Yeah,
Let them do with it what they will.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell them, and I made that mistake one time recently with a friend of mine a couple of years ago. I read her cards, and almost every
yeah.
card I threw down was a major arcana card, and every single card was upside down. So I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. This can't be. So I'm like, yeah, da, 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 da. And I made up some bullshit that I was telling her, and she could tell I wasn't feeling it. But
Yeah,
later that day, something very serious happened in her family. And
yeah.
if I would have been honest with my reading and not trying to spare my friends' feelings, um,
That's tough with friends, though,
yeah, for
in
strangers, I have no
particular.
problem telling
Me
you.
too.
But
Yeah,
for friends, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
baby, buckle up. Um, yeah, yeah, calm your tits. Um, and you guys think I'm joking in professional readings. I will tell my clients that calm your tits, it breaks the tension. Try it sometime.
Yeah.
Um, Looking back, what advice do you wish someone would have given you, and would you have taken it?
Um, that's a really good question. I think it would be that if you start down this path, there's no going back. Like there's some bells you can't unring. And I don't think I would have taken it. Being honest. I think it would have been like, yeah, whatever, boomer. I'm going. That sounds like a you problem. And then fast forward, you're 42 and you're like, oh my God, here I am doing
Yeah.
shamanism is doing me. Let's put it that way. And it feels rather non consensual a lot of the time, but it is what it is. Yeah.
um,
And also that doing this stuff makes you weirder in ways you can't undo. I mean, like cognitively, psychically, every time you touch this work, you're expanding, you're growing, you're putting reps in. And so what does that mean? And everyone wants to ascend. Oh, I'm going to ascend. And it's like,
I'm telling you.
it gets weird. This, in the words of my grandmother, this shit's going to have, or this squirrel shit's going to have nuts in it, you know?
I love that.
Like
Um,
it's nutty. Yeah.
with a bouquet.
Yeah.
I am not going to tell that story here. It's inappropriate. So, death card. How do you
Yeah.
approach change and transformation in your life? Now, for me, Hecate is
Yeah.
change. Hermes is transition, moving from one form
Okay.
to another. So they're both movement, but in different ways. How do you handle change in your life?
I like when it's my choice. And this year has been a lot of, one of the reasons Amy's doing the fundraiser and we're working on the merch collaboration is my flower essence garden got shredded in a hailstorm, biblical hailstorm. Then we had a flood, a tree fell on my house. Then all this stuff happened to the house. And all of it's felt like, I'm Saint Sebastian, right? Getting shot by a bunch of arrows. And it's change that's happening to me that I don't like. So I would say I'm working on this. And it's funny because the guides I work with are always gods of prophecy, and they're always difficult and benevolent tricksters ultimately. And I think they gravitate to me, or maybe I gravitate to them, or it's a combination of the two because I have a very strong will. And it's funny because, my business is prophecy. And so it's funny that I'm such a free will addict too in the middle of it, but I'm working on change and transition. I'm looking forward to the gentle phase. I like Anubis's energy. I'd like him. I'm still hanged man. I'm still right now on the tree, nowhere to go. Yeah, and just missing a goddamn eye or whatever it is. So the truly transformative piece, like when you're turning the corner, feels very good to me. And then I'm like, ooh, and now I can make sense of all these things. The climb up the mountain, I'm very unpleasant. I'm that person on the group trip that's like, I don't like my thread count. The food's gross. It's too hot. It's too cold. When are we getting to our destination? Yeah.
Dude. I'm going to tell you this Hermes tale real quick.
I love Hermes. Please do.
I was working out of a local metaphysical store this time last year or the year before. I can't remember. But I kept getting those hits like, something's wrong, dude. Something's wrong. And I kept asking the owner of the place. I'd call her into my office and give her a reading and say, hey, is there anything going on? Is there anything I need to know about? No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. But I kept getting it. And then one day she tells me that they haven't been handling the finances well. They're losing half of the store, which included my office. And she had known about it for a couple of months. And I had 1 week to get out. And I'm like, well, this is what I was telling you about. Why? Anyway, the point is, I left that place that day and went to the other witch store in town and walked in and was talking with my friend, the owner, and I was freaked out. And all my friends started trickling in one at a time. And Lori came in, Dee came in, and they're like, I was driving by and I felt like I had to come in here. What's going on? And I'm like, it's me. So I've got a table full of people around me. And as we're talking, the movers came in because the store was changing locations. And the guy who was the main mover was so unbelievably luscious and sexy and everything. And I just kind of, my mouth was open and I looked and I, as he was walking away, he turned around and he kind of looked over his shoulder and grinned at me. That was Hermes. Okay. Was it?
So I met Odin. Odin drove a cab for me one night in Chicago. And I wrote about it on Substack. It's the only one of those I've ever had. And I realized as it was happening earlier in the day, I had a client named Katie who I loved. She always got Odin's card, all this stuff. And long story short, she was told by every doctor on earth she was never going to get pregnant. It ended her relationship. And I pulled her cards that night and I said, listen, you're going to get pregnant. You're going to get married and get pregnant when you least expect it. And I had no idea she met a coworker of hers in my lobby in Chicago He came to see me for a card reading. They ran into each other. They worked in the office together, started dating. They eloped to, of all places, New Orleans. They get married. She had no idea when they got married she was pregnant. And in that conversation, though, with her in that final reading before she got pregnant, I said, I would love to meet Odin. I said it out loud. I go, I want to meet him. I want to talk to him in real life. I would just love it. I think it'd be so much fun. And so as the cab driver's talking to me and I realize it's Odin, I'm like, oh my God, I asked to meet him. And he told me who I was going to marry and his attributes. And it was an incredible cab ride home.
Especially the cab ride. I'm not surprised it was Hermes. He's the Lord of the Roads.
I always see Hermes in the New Orleans airport, the Louis Armstrong airport. He's always in there, but not talking to me, not interacting with me, but just little
Hermes, Odin, and then for everybody watching, Hermes, Odin, Thoth, Coyote, they're all conflated. Okay, they're all kind of the same one. So just different parts of the world. So I get the energy you're working with, sis. I'm loving it.
Prometheus is like whatever that is, but way less fun and way more intense. I always joke because they go, how's he different? I go, well, if Odin's German, because you can party with Germans. I've been to Germany. You can go like Oktoberfest. They drink, they dance badly. They're funny. They have a good time. They're good hang.
Right.
Prometheus is Russian. You know what I mean? Where it's like not fun. And you say it's just very dry and very direct and very serious. And but
I'm getting to know Thoth right now.
Do you like that? Are you reading the Emerald Tablets or anything?
Yes, I'm reading the Emerald Tablets, the Emerald Tablets, the Book of Thoth. I'm trying to understand his energy as best I can.
You know who he reminds me of? Archangel Gabriel.
Well, he's conflated with them too.
Yeah. And I debated whether to make the Magician card in our Totem Tarot deck Gabriel or Thoth because of that. Because to me, it was that same vibe of like the scribe, the word.
Now, how do you say Thoth, Tote?
I probably go back and forth.
Yeah, me too. I flip-flop.
I don't know.
I catch myself doing it and I'm like, damn it, you did it again.
I know it's like those newscasters though, like El Nino and then like the really accurate expression of El Nino. Like I just try and stick to what's American, I guess.
You had a
Scotty, you're crazy.
Woohoo.
I just learned where Adonis, his blood fell. It's the narcissus flower. Speaking of blood of the gods and things like that, it was Adonis who gave. Yeah, I've been on Google all day looking, ordering books. I'm deep in this. So Adonis has a flower.
She's like, I am tits deep. Don't test me on this, boy.
It's gross. And my husband jokes, he comes home, he's like, what's been going on? I'm like, just research nobody knows about or cares about. Just weird shit. Just me and this computer. And
Adonis was the child of No.
I don't know, honestly.
I know the story. It was Myrrh. Whoever his mother was turned into a tree because it's a very vicious story, you guys. She basically slept with her father or something, and then the gods got pissed off and turned it. Check it out. It's really weird.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
In Greek mythology, Electra, Oedipus. Yeah.
It's true. And Adonis is one of the cards in the Divine Masculine deck. If you guys want to check out a very cool, sexy, male-centric deck.
Bobby, we have to get you on the podcast. I'm doing a guys-only season starting in January 2026. Because I think men's voices and perspectives get shut out of the business of woo.
More than you know.
Right.
Which is funny because if you look at all the YouTube tarot tube channels and things like this, you see men doing it more than women. And Aleister Crowley, what's his name? Ryder Waite. And these are all men in the magical industry. So
I would say the overwhelming majority of consumers are women, and women are kind of weird about working with men in this space, and they shouldn't be.
I can understand why, though, because if you've turned to, well, let's say a lot of people turn to woo later in their life because they've been um, either rejected or
Yeah.
chased out of or hurt in some way by quote unquote standard Christianity. Um,
Hmm.
the I can't remember where that thought was going. I got pissed. Oh, men. Um,
Yeah.
women, it's like if you're a rape victim, you don't want to be around men.
Yeah.
If you've been abused by a man, you don't want to be around men. My mom was in a coven, a Dianic coven, when I was growing up. It was all women.
Yeah.
Um, and when I first started my witch journey, I was shit on basically by a lot of people because
I
it
don't
was
like it.
witchcraft is a women's religion, is what I
I
was told.
think people are individuals, and individuals can be dolls or they can be cunts. You know?
Yes, and I love the fact that you threw the C word
Oh
because
yeah,
that is
sorry.
my jam. No, I'm down with it. Don't worry.
See you next Tuesdays.
I
I
will
just
call you
think
a cunt.
I like it. I
So
just think that in the business, like my podcast, The Skeptical Shaman, what we try to do is get people to question their paradigms and think outside the box a little. And that's why I want to do a whole season of men. Because I feel like the podcast circuit has a lot of women that are like, I speak
you
light
need to
language,
talk
I'm a
to.
Pleiadian. And it's like, yeah, okay, we'll
I
see.
like the way you said that. Man,
Yeah,
I do the
all
same thing.
right.
Dude,
Like I
like we were
know you.
separated at birth.
I've been at Soho House with you. Like,
You need to talk to Ramon about having him on your
okay.
divine
Please email
masculine.
me.
I will.
Yeah.
That he is everybody in chat. Y'all know Ramon. He is the sweetest, most wonderful. And look, Kristen Louise joined us from Nine Worlds Tarot. Kristen is a follower of Lilith, also.
Oh, cool. Hey, Kristen, Lilith is my homegirl.
Yeah,
She's in my deck.
we were
Yeah.
showing off the card right here.
Yeah, I would love
Um,
that. So I'd love to have you guys on. I think I like everybody and I dislike everybody. It's just individuals, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you need both masculine and feminine in
Yeah.
witchcraft is what my point was, and a lot
Yeah.
of people shoot themselves in the foot. Um, our next card is Temperance. I love the
This
Temperance card.
question.
This is a survivor's card. Was there ever a point in your life when you just didn't think you were going to make it?
Honestly, the last several weeks, and I wish I could talk more about it, but
It's all right.
I've been really kind of pushed to a place I haven't been before, and I've had a difficult life. So this is a new one. And it's, I think, particularly hard because it's filled with like legal stuff and bureaucracy, right?
Mm,
It's an intersection of legal people and medical people, which is,
never
it's
fun.
tough, never fun. And what I come back to though is, one of the things that my spirit guide, my primary guide right now, Prometheus, shared with me, which was an I Ching hexagram called Keeping Still the Mountain. And it's the mountain over the mountain. And I looked into it, and the mountain is not without movement. It has tremendous tension inside of it. And then I remembered this Russian word called Toska. Have you ever heard this word? It's a
I've heard
spiritual
the
word.
word.
I love Russian words, man. They have words for shit we haven't even thought of yet. And it means like deep spiritual suffering that is active, that you cannot disassociate from, and you must feel and undergo and withstand in order to come out the other side. And that's sort of the phrase for this moment, and that the card Temperance has been coming up a lot for me. And I'll pull a card from my deck every once in a while. I go, what's Prometheus's energy like? What's he working with me on? It's always the alchemist. He's alchemizing me. He's plunging me into fire and beating me up and throwing me in water. And yeah. And I would say
Alchemy is.
when you're in a state of active surrender, in the words of Winston Churchill, when you find yourself in hell, keep walking.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
If you're going through hell, keep on going. It's a
Keep
country
on
song. I
going.
love that.
What about you? Because you're a survivor.
I am a survivor.
I
I
wasn't a
left home
teenage
at
runaway.
I was a teenage runaway. I was a thief. I was a prostitute. I did a lot of things when I was younger that I wouldn't have done had I not been in that situation. I was
Yeah.
exposed to a whole world that the general public just doesn't know is there.
That's
Um,
intense liminality.
so
Yes.
it is my job now to make use of what I've been through. Am I going to let it sit there like a festering sore, or am I going to use it as a beacon to help other people find their way?
Making
Um,
your suffering into something useful.
that's right. That is
Yeah.
alchemy. That is
Yeah.
turning that lead into gold. Um, I don't ever want anybody to feel what I felt at that point in my life. For years, I went through this. All right. It wasn't just a short period of time, you guys. It was almost 15 years that I did this. Um, and I just don't want people to go through that. So that's why when I see people who are truly spiritual or understand that there's a universe they don't understand, those
Yeah.
people make me happy. People like you who create decks like the Totem Tarot, who will show people reality. I love that.
Well,
Um,
it gave me a really intense feeling of joy when I saw that video, and I think I found it like a year after you made it. And bear with me, I can still hear you. I guess I have to plug this machine in. It's
that's okay.
sucking all. Maybe I'm sucking the battery out of it. Wouldn't
It
that
could
be
be.
funny? Oh, it
Um,
probably is. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
uh,
Yeah. I hope you
God
can still
is
hear
all.
me, Bobby. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
Okay,
just talking
fantastic.
to the chat, seeing what we got going on. We have AJ says Skeptical Shaman is the best podcast. Uh,
You'd be a fan favorite instantly. It's the listener group just likes real people who keep it real, who've lived interesting lives, and you've lived good or bad and both a very interesting life. And
I
that's what
say
tempered
somebody
you.
must have cursed me in another life, because what is that Chinese curse? May you live in interesting times.
Mhm.
Somebody must have said that to me at one point, because I sure as hell am.
The other thing about this period of temperance and alchemy is I'm trying to write, which I'm having still some brain fog, but I'm not just writing the Business of Woo book. I'm working on a book about Prometheus and my time with him. And to me, that pulls me out of whatever bad thing I'm feeling. It
I,
does. Like
I'm
creating.
intrigued about Prometheus. Like,
Me too.
how long was the process of before you realized, oh, this
Oh
is that?
shit.
Yeah.
It was about 3 months. And what was weird about it, so Odin and maybe Hermes in your experience, a lot of my guides felt more internal. Like I'd have life stuff going on, but it was more about like me and my development, my spiritual work or
Right.
my client work. Prometheus was like the world's about to change. And it felt way more external and collective. And it coincided, the intensity of it really ramped up when 3i Atlas came into the solar system. And it's funny because Atlas is the name of Prometheus's brother. I mean, this is
Hmm.
stuff that makes you sound kind of like, the person on the park bench or on the bus saying,
Yeah.
like, they put things in the water. And not that that guy or girl was
That's
wrong,
how I
by the
feel
way. But
sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, but it's been an interesting thing where for the first time I feel called to share what I've learned from him. Yeah. And that I'm not engaging in self-deification. It's not like I am Prometheus. He's very distinct.
Rebecca says we suffer to serve. That's our call. It's our calling. That is a fantastic way to
It
put
is.
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on a fucking t-shirt, girl. Oh, even Scotty. Boom, Rebecca. All right. So let's go on to our next question. It's a wild time to be human. You ain't kidding, AJ. So we did the temperance. So next up, we've got the devil card. Ironically, I made a little AI picture of me. I
Yeah.
turned a picture of me into a full tarot card. It said the witch, and I didn't notice until this morning when I looked at it. Somebody commented it was number 15.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I didn't mean for that to happen. It just came out that way. Number 15 in tarot is the devil card, you guys. So
It
I was
is.
basically saying they were calling me the devil.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing that you ever had to break free of?
I think it was having a normal job. I had really tough breakups. I actually stopped talking to my father when I was 13, stopped talking to my mother later in life. And so I had a lot of that, but I think that was the last myth left was I'm going to be a normal person with a normal job. You know, when you go into this work full time, I don't know if you've experienced this. There's a feeling of like, there's kind of no going back, not because I don't have options, but because it's a calling and you're on this path now and it freaks you out. Like there's no HR department. There's no legal department. There's no, health
Yeah.
insurance from your employer. There's no steady paycheck. And it makes you very vulnerable. Everything gets really real, I think. And
Yeah.
for me, having a quote corporate job, I think filled a lot of voids for me and made me feel safe. But it wasn't because it was
Yeah.
based on anything real. It was just like a blankie, that I could suck my thumb and hold it. And that's gone now.
I didn't. I was a nail tech and a hairstylist for a very long time. And I did it because I didn't know what else to do. My mom
Right.
was a nail tech
Me, I
at one
didn't pick
point.
my job either. Yeah. It
Yeah,
just happened.
I didn't know it. I didn't have anything else. And once I did it and I was decent at it, I was a phenomenal nail tech,
Yeah.
but I was a decent hairstylist. It When you talk about making that change, yeah, it when
Yeah.
I retired because of medical, I thought my life was over. I had been this for so long. I didn't know
Yeah.
what else to be or how to be anything else or how to be anybody else. So for about 3 years, I was lost while I was trying to make the transition over. And it was a Chris Butler video, watching one of his COVID videos that he put out,
Yeah.
um, about tarot, that it reignited my love. And I dug out my cards again because I would read for my clients, but I wasn't doing it
Yeah.
full time at that point. And then I was just like, fuck it. I'm retired now. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
I just threw myself into it. And
And I
yeah,
just wrote about the devil card on Substack the other day. And what always struck me about the devil card was that it's an inversion of the lovers card. Lovers is
yeah,
6, the devil is 1 and 5, right?
yeah.
And that it turns humans into slabs of meat. And so for me, it's about like getting away from the material and remembering that that's not the only thing in our reality.
The devil is illusion to me.
Yeah.
That's yes, he's this. Yes, he's that. Yes, it's addiction. Yes, it's this. But it's all based on illusion because you thought that was going to, it was. Don't get me started on the devil card.
Well, we made him the shadow, to your point, like what's there? It's you. And yet it's not. Yeah.
What is everybody saying? Yes, Rebecca. I could never work. All right, I can never work for anybody again. 4 years
Yeah.
old, not bad, girlfriend. I won't work for anybody again. Let me put it
Oh,
that
yeah.
way.
No, that's not. I've gone too feral. I've been out of captivity too long. And that's part of what freaks you out is you knew you had to break free of it. It's a good thing to break free of, but also it's like it's like a face tattoo. Like Mike Tyson's tattoo. It's there now.
Yeah, I want one. I will never get
Get
one,
it.
but I want one. My husband says you can get one as soon as you find a new place to live. And I was like,
Well,
fuck you.
yeah, I tease my husband a lot with like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get filler. I'm going to, whatever. And he's like, not in this house.
Right?
In this
That's
house,
the
we love
same.
you the way you are. Yeah.
All right, here we go. If you wonder why I keep doing this, everybody, I have what are they called?
Bifocals?
Bifocals,
Yeah.
and I have to go like that to see. So let me lift them up. The Tower card. How do you deal with upheaval in your life? What's your best advice for handling those Tower moments?
Don't indulge spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity. Whatever it is, you have to kind of feel it. And the sooner you feel it, the sooner you process and integrate it. And then it's your medicine. You turn poison into medicine. And I was in a relationship a long time ago before my husband was someone, his life was, it was full Tower moment. It was incredible. And he just kept white knuckling stuff and doubling down instead of letting it go, you know? And he was just making it worse and worse. And it's like, hey, man, just acknowledge reality. So I would say acknowledge reality. And if something's, if everybody tells you you're dead, it's time to lie down. Let it go. Because something new comes in right away. I've been going through a lot of this lately. And the minute I'm like, I joke, I call it the fuck it bucket. I stole that from Amy and David Sedaris, very funny comedians and writers.
I know who they are. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I just put it in that. And the minute I do, the universe is like, here's your treat for that. And so things die, let them go. They're never things you really want to let go of, but it's important. And I just think the new age community does everyone a disservice by trying to immediately go, well, this is happening because something good's coming. It's a good thing, or this is happening because, and it's like, let me feel like shit for an hour, please. Because I need to, because that's part of the alchemy, right? And so feeling your feelings and letting it be bad, just not despair bad, but let yourself sometimes feel negative emotions, because at the bottom of that, you might have your catharsis and you might have a huge insight. And if you don't feel it, you can't fix what's broken. And if something's hurting you and you're in denial about it, you're not going to let it go. You got to let it go.
Toxic positivity just destroys me. I got it somewhere. I might have given it away. A tarot deck. And it was so sickeningly sweet and positive. There was no negative in that deck at all. I'm like, this has got to go.
Well, that's not life. Life's not all roses all the time, and nor is it all thorns. It's a mixture, right?
Yeah. Thorn is my craft name, by the way. Yeah.
Is it? That's incredible.
Short for hawthorn.
Oh yeah. I read a book about a male witch who they said was a cambion, a changeling who had they knew he was a witch because he had hawthorn plants outside of his home in France.
I love that.
I'll send you the book title. You'll like it.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Rebecca says, I've always been afraid that your so-called friend, hold on. Your so-called friend who robbed you promised you to give you. Wow, that sounds like a hassle to go through. I'm sorry you went through that. Next up, where are you? Star card. This is a great card. Looking back, who would you say was your guiding light? Your uncle or somebody else? Or
yeah, my grandmother. My grandmother was really that person for me. I think I would be psychologically way more damaged if she wasn't around. She kind of knew what was up in my home growing up and would be like, it's not you, it's them. And was really kind without being saccharine. She had a tough childhood too, and the depression and stuff. And she taught me how to have a sense of humor. You have to laugh. You cannot take yourself so seriously. It's ridiculous.
I get that. My grandma was the same way.
Yeah.
She was a badass. She taught me how to throw a right hook. She taught me how to cook. And she told me long before I ever knew who RuPaul was, if they ain't paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind. She told me that when I was a little kid, and I've stuck by that my whole life.
My grandmother pulled me out of school to watch. She goes, I saw this new movie. You have to see it. You have to see it. And it was the Jackass movie.
The Jackass movie?
That was her sense of humor.
Yeah.
It was grown men lighting bottle rockets in their buttholes in Japan off of balconies. She pulled me out of school to have that moment with her.
That's awesome. My grandma taught me when I was about 7 or 8. There was a young man from Nantucket.
Yes.
That's my grandma.
Yeah.
Missy Grammys.
Yeah. I think they're true fairy grandmothers, kind of. And I feel her presence on the other side, as I'm sure you do, too.
I do, and it's not always pleasant. My grandma was the one that would pull me up short.
Okay.
She could dress me down like nobody could because she knew where to aim.
She could read you.
Oh God, yeah. So I did everything I could not to get on her bad side, or
Yeah.
And she taught me how to think. She didn't tell me what to think. She taught me how to think, and I appreciate that.
My
Um,
grandmother said to me, if somebody wants to do you a favor, say no. Nobody ever gives you anything for free. Like it was a lot of that street smart stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you're not that nice and special. People don't want to just give you stuff.
My
Yeah.
grandma was a badass woman. Um, the Sun card is our next card. Did we skip them all? Yes, we
I
did.
think maybe.
Okay,
Oh,
how do you deal with negative people?
I've had to get a lot firmer about it in the last year. But I also think something's going on with people and boundaries. Have you noticed it, Bobby? Clients or just the general public where they
I've
they
noticed
don't pick
people
up
are
on subtle cues as much?
they don't.
Yeah.
They're not as respective of your space and your time and your
Yeah.
energy as it was before. And I do notice that pre-COVID.
So I've stopped doing the in between steps. So I'm sure it's jarring where I'm just like, this is inappropriate. I'm uncomfortable. Like I use my words like a child would kind of. And like truly negative people, they get iced out. They get blocked. I won't have contact with people we have in common and I won't talk about them because I had an experience this summer where someone had a negative entity attached to them and it became like a real issue for me and every other client they came near, by the way. And I was like, I have to treat this like it's radioactive. Like this is
Yeah,
crazy. And it's just not worth it. And remembering too who matters in your life, like what your grandmother said to you, but also those you love, and that you don't need to make the whole world happy. You're going to be the villain in somebody's story. Just embrace it, make it work for you.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
never gonna make everybody happy.
No.
So what she did tell me, and this was the best piece of advice, was I don't care what you do when you grow up, whether you're the president or whether you're cleaning toilets, you do the best job at it you can do. If you're
Yeah.
the president, you be the best president. If you're cleaning toilets, you make those fuckers shine. Um,
Yeah.
she was a badass. I miss her so much. I still talk to her. So
That's fantastic.
uh,
Yeah. How do you deal with negative people? Always looking for advice.
I flare. Um, and what I mean by that is I shut down. Like if somebody's giving me a problem, I'll be quiet. I'll give a little pulse of flare of my power, of my strength, just to
Hmm.
say, You don't see me, you won't be here." Look the other way, something. Just
Hmm.
um, I try to steer people away from me, and if they
Yeah.
won't steer away from me, then I will shred them.
Yeah.
Um, I tried to be polite. You didn't want to go that route, so here we are.
Yeah.
No, I have no problem tearing somebody apart. And I will advise anybody, if you see somebody around you who is a true healer and power for the forces of good, remember they probably got that way because they've seen the darkest parts of the shadow. So don't push your luck with those people, all right?
Yeah.
Uh, what brings you joy and how do you celebrate your successes?
I like going to New Orleans. It's so funny. The other day, my husband texted me and he goes, you know what'll fix all this? You haven't been to New Orleans. Like treats it like medicine. And that's how I celebrate success. It's just a happy city for me. It's anyone who hasn't been there, it's very inexpensive for a city. It's really reasonable. It's easy to get to. It's low maintenance. It's a city built on hospitality. They love tourists. They know how to handle you. You can have a good time. Even if you don't drink, it doesn't matter. Trust me, I've been with sober friends. They have a very good time. And I
You
think
can
just
go
being
to the
around,
Cafe Du Monde, sit there,
yeah, get
relax,
beignets and
go get
chicory
beignets,
coffee,
go up
go
to
get a
Jack's Brewery.
muffaletta. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch jazz music. And I just think too, being around real witch energy that's alive helps me. And to me, it's a sun card place. It's a sunny place. The people there are not sad, and they have every reason to be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Um, you got me thinking about New Orleans. I used to take the trolley to work every day. I worked in the Garden District when
Yeah.
I was 15. Yeah, that was a fun time of my life. All right, so we're almost done. We've got two cards to go. We're now at the Judgment card. The Judgment card says it's time to reflect on our lives. If they were
Yeah.
creating a movie about your life and experience, what would it be called?
This is funny. I already know the title of it because I'm naming it. This is what I'm calling the book about my experience with Prometheus, which is Fire in the Madhouse. It's a Terence McKenna quote. They said the mushrooms told me this is what happens to a species when they get ready to depart for the stars. It's a fire in the madhouse.
I love that. I've never heard that. That's
Oh,
awesome.
you would love that clip. If you YouTube it, Terence McKenna, Fire in the Madhouse, it's very inspiring. And I think he was describing literally what we're in right now. But also, I grew up around a lot of crazy and a lot of violence. And, it's a fire in the madhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I've given it a lot of thought and I can't really come up with the title yet. It's a work in progress.
it'll come to
Uh,
you.
I'm sure. Hopefully. So our last card, the world card. It's a great big world out there. Where would you most like to visit besides New Orleans,
No,
and
I
why?
know. I know this one. My husband and I desperately want to go to northern Scotland, to the
Oh,
Isle of
that's not what I
Skye.
thought you would say at all. I thought you were going to
Yeah,
say
no.
France.
I've been to France. I mean, Paris is okay. I prefer New Orleans, actually, which I was very surprised by. Um, it's just a vibe check, I guess. But yeah, no, I want to go to rural Scotland. A lot of the deities in our deck, like Mab, they're an
Ah,
Earl King, they're Pictish and Celtic, and getting out into just the moors, where Macbeth took place and the Weird Sisters. And
I do want to see where the red caps are.
yes,
It's one of the things
yeah.
I've always wanted to go visit.
And to me, if I go somewhere, I want it to be somewhere unlike anywhere I've ever been. I want like a wildly different experience. So the other one we've talked about is Tokyo, because I've heard there's just no city on earth anything like Tokyo. It's 20 million people, I think. I think it and Mexico City are just, you can't even conceive of them in scale and population. And the Japanese are very different. Shinto is very interesting to me, but Scotland, I'd have to say Scotland.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Uh, I, I I don't want to travel over the water. I'm just terrified of a plane
I
going
get
down,
it.
and
Yeah.
um, I do want to go on a cruise, but I figure, nah. I don't like to travel. I just don't. I'm scared to go on this plane as it is, and I'm
It's
only
a
going to
lot of
Utah.
psychics I know do not fly on planes. It's a real thing with psychics.
I don't like getting on a
Do you
plane.
know what
I,
I'm
I
way
get on.
worse in? A
What's that?
car. I'm the most
Really?
nervous effing passenger, and I'm a terrible driver. I never drive. I'm like a sister wife. My husband takes me places like I'm a child going on a field trip. So cars and I don't get along. I'd rather ride a horse or a motorcycle. The irony. I know. I don't like being in cars at all. I
I
wonder if
could
it's a
do.
past life thing with us.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I just no. It creeps me out the thought of getting on that plane. When I'm walking down the corridor to
Yeah.
get on the plane, I can feel things start to, and I'm not like that in any other
Yeah.
situation, anywhere, just
I would listen
blank.
to that then.
Um, so we have reached the end of the major arcana questions, you guys. So if anybody does have a question for Rachel, please post it in capitals. We're going to open it up real quick. And while you post your questions, if you have any, Rachel and I are going to talk about what she's got coming up.
Yeah. So I'm trying desperately to make an I Ching deck. I'm behind because of all the transformative life events, I guess is a positive spin on it. But I've been reading I Ching, and I just think a deck with, kind of some channeled images of those energies, people would really like it. The I Ching is super sophisticated, and I just want more people to use it. I get geeked out on it as a divination tool. I have a little tattoo here of one of the symbols. Do you have I Ching?
I think no. One of my decks has the I Ching on it, and I was looking to see if it was this one. It's got I Ching, runes, and astrology on it.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't know the I Ching, so I don't really use that deck.
you would love it. It would be right up your alley because the name of it really is the Book of Changes, and how everything's always in this cyclical moving thing. It's very Hermes, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
And, I'm writing a bunch of books very slowly because of everything going on, but looking to launch a new season of the podcast in January 2026. And, I sell the tinctures, the flower essences that I grow and make on Etsy. So focused on the holiday season, really packaging a lot of that up for the holiday gift season. Yeah.
You just said something that sparked a question. Holy crud. Your the
Podcast. Yeah.
your podcast. Can you tell us more about that,
Sure.
please?
Yeah, it's called The Skeptical Shaman. And we just literally, as of this past Saturday, hit 100 episodes. So I've been sticking with it. And we have 100,000 downloads, which, it's not Joe Rogan numbers, but it's not too shabby considering I'm cranky. And I don't, one of the themes of the podcast is I don't have on the people who pitch me, usually, unless I like them. I don't care what their follower count is or how famous they are. I'm not trying to build numbers. The whole point of the podcast is to equip the sort of spiritually homeless with a new perspective and get them
I love that.
using discernment. So I can't have like cult leaders and BS artists on there if that's our little ethics test.
The
Yeah.
following will come. The subscribers are going to come sooner or later.
Yeah.
I've only been on for a year, and I'm almost at 700. So I'm just starting out. But that's never been a big thing with me. The big thing for me is getting my message out.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, the numbers will come. I'm not.
And they will, and they'll be real. And that's a chapter I'm writing in this Business of Woo book is you can scale artificially. You can scale by having big guests on and doing all the right things on paper. But those people aren't sticky. They're not going to stay with you because they're not your people.
You won't be able to maintain that type of.
Yeah. And I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to compromise my integrity. Maybe that makes me an edgelord weirdo and I'm always going to be in the margins. But I don't
compromised myself recently. I have my Thursday night show I do with Selena. Yeah. It used to be Selena and Ramon and myself. Well, I was so jealous of the way Ramon presented his information. Like, he's so scholarly. That I was trying to do that, and I just was fucking it up, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm back to me."
Yeah, every attempt we make to be, sometimes it's not always fucking it up. You're just trying to be better. Maybe that's a generous way to look at it, giving yourself some grace. But it's like, I am what I am. And in the words of Prometheus, in that play I told you about, time as it grows old teaches all things, right? And one of the things I'm realizing is we are what we are. So just be yourself. And so, yeah, I love the podcast. I love the listeners of the podcast because they're a very discerning, fun, skeptical audience. Like, they're real people living real lives. They're not just there to get the woo vending machine garbage, kind of the slop. And I like that, I've talked to a lot of cult survivors who become friends. I think their stories are really interesting. A lot of trauma, I had to go through this hard thing. And this is what I learned about authority figures. And so really trying to empower people that way. And for me, I learn a lot by talking. And I'm sure you've encountered this. Don't you think it makes you better at just like life, kind of? Like, when I go through life now, I ask myself podcast questions. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And, it just gets you in a beginner's mind more. It's very good for you. So yeah, it's called The Skeptical Shaman. We're actually doing a review raffle through the 15th of this month. So if anybody reviews or rates it on Apple or Spotify, email me a screenshot and you are entered to win a grand prize.
Maru brings up a good point. Have you followed Cosmic Orphan? She says
no.
She thinks you'd like him.
No, thank you.
You'd like him.
Okay.
He's nifty.
I'll follow Cosmic Orphan. That sounds amazing.
He's hermetic also. So alchemy is a big thing. I'm looking to see, are you on Spotify?
Yep. Yeah. It's on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, anywhere you listen. And also all the episodes get uploaded to Substack. And I'll often, for paid subscribers, give them a whole season of the podcast for free early.
That's awesome. Swampy says she loves the conversations. It's piqued her interest. And Rebecca Joe. I have to go back to this because it made me laugh. I don't put anything between my legs that I'm not in control of, like most.
Rebecca, we might be opposite people because I can only really rock modes of transportation that like freak other people out. I don't know. I just cars, man, cars, and I've driven boats. I've actually flown planes. I had a flying permit.
Okay. Edward's
Thank you,
here.
Rebecca.
How you doing, Edward? Good to see you.
And
Um,
Rebecca, the whole past season has been about the business of woo. So I interviewed people like Teresa Reed, who talked about parasocial dynamics and how people think they know you and how you want to be polite, but that can get weird. And Casio
oh,
from Tarot Map talking about YouTube, how to make money on it and what the myths are around it, as you, as a fellow tarot tuber, would know. And Marco Visconti, who's a Thelemite, who's written books about Aleister Crowley, and his episode's called Content Creation is Work, because no one wants to pay for content. And it's
yeah.
like, yeah, but guys, if you enjoy this, I'm being cool. Please be cool. I can't do it forever for free. It is what it is. So that's the whole recent season. Yeah.
I love it, Rachel. The world needs more people like you in it.
I
You're
think it needs more people like you and your chat.
you're freaking phenomenal. The chat has been phenomenal today. It's been today. Um,
Thank God.
the chat has been phenomenal, and we have had a blast. Yes, Edward, you need to go back and rewatch. Um, I love how you and Bobby are both about building a true community that you'll connect
Yeah.
with and share other stories. It's true. Um, true is the word there. Um,
Thank you for noticing that. And it's why I was drawn to you, by the way. And
I
I
appreciate
would say if I want to be around a bunch of fake bullshit and I want to be fake, I just go get another office job. Either if
Yeah.
you're here, do it.
I go
Right?
to work at Dillard's or something.
Right. And Charles Bukowski wrote this great poem and it's called All the Way. And it's like, if you're going to do it, go all the way. Do it. And there's this great line where he goes, do it, do it, do it, in all caps. And it's like, sure to get off the pot. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in, don't just walk into a room. Walk into a room with your hat and a feather and
Yeah.
this. You walk in like you own that fucking place.
Because you do
Because I
in a nice way.
guarantee in that room you walked into, all those other people don't know what the hell's going on. So just
If I
jump in.
saw you in that hat with your tarot cards on it, walk into a room, Bobby, I would say, thank God someone's here to help. I can relax. Thank
Do
God
you
there's an adult here.
I draw attention to myself. I'm telling you. When I used to bartend,
Yeah.
I would go into other bars and um, I learned how to make paper roses out of napkins. So that's how I would meet people when I'd go into a new bar. I'd sit there at the
Yeah.
bar, start folding paper napkins, put them in my beer bottles, and people would always come over and say, "Hey, how did you do that?" Or "Can you teach me how to do that?" So
Yeah. Well,
always
have
fun.
you ever read the book How to Make Friends and Influence People?
I haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
It's actually good, and I'm very intensely introverted. So I'm a Cancer classic, and I'm Aquarius moon, Virgo rising. I'm uptight, and I want to be. I don't want you to see me, and I don't want to be. I want to just watch all of you, right? And but I've learned that if you're open and you just have fun, that like everything in life gets easier. I've had to learn more of what was innate to you. And that's maybe part of your medicine you help people with is like put your peacock feather on. It's magical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Know your own strengths and weaknesses, guys, um, because it's yours. Own it. You know?
I would love to talk about that on the podcast. So I'll email you and we'll schedule that. I would really like that because I think people want to fit into something. Even in the woo, they're like, well, I want to be a clair empath or I want to be a physical medium. And it's like, but you're you. And what you are is magical. And odds are you have an incredible psychic ability. Why aren't we just doing whatever that is?
Everybody has their own gifts.
Yeah.
Our gifts may work the same way as somebody else, they may not, but they're yours. My gift is not going to work the same way as Rachel's. Rachel's
And
isn't going to work the same way as Timmy's in the chat. we're all different based on our experiences. So own it. Own your
And the
shit.
world needs us all to be different because we're going to help
That's
different
right.
people at different stages. Yeah.
Because we all fit together in different ways. We're scissoring each other. That's right.
We're all
Um,
scissor sisters.
that's right. Oh, I've been listening to Scissor Sisters lately. Anyway, you guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. Rachel,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for being
Thank you.
here.
Keep doing
If
what you're doing.
please like and subscribe. Go over to Totem Tarot and to Rachel's website. The link is in the description box, and check out her podcast. All right, you guys. We'll see you on the next show. I believe I'm on tomorrow morning with Denise Fletcher, and then I'll be on with I was going to be on with Joey, but we canceled it. So tomorrow I'll be on with Denise, but we'll probably still be getting high. Anyway, all right, you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. And don't ever let your future be defined by your past.